OpenAI just dropped 3 real-time voice models, GPT, Realtime-2, Translate, and Whisper, and one of them brings GPT-5 level reasoning to live conversation. No more dumb voice assistants. Here is the map for this video. First, we will talk about Gemini GPT-5 reasoning. Then, we will move to reason. After that, we will cover speed vs. Finally, we will close with build now or benchmark later. Voice AI was always running on a weaker model, not anymore. Look, Voice AI has been stuck. ChatGPT's voice mode was fun, Gemini's was fast, but the actual intelligence behind them, it was always a weaker model than the text version. You'd ask a hard question and get a dumbed down answer. That just changed. OpenAI released 3 models on May 7th. GPT-Realtime-2, GPT-Realtime-Translate, and GPT-Realtime-Whisper. And the headline is this: GPT-Realtime-2 is the first voice model with GPT-5 class reasoning. So what does that actually mean? It means the model can think while it talks. It can handle interruptions, call multiple tools in parallel, and adjust how deeply it reasons on a scale of 1 to 5, depending on how complex your request is. The developer sets the intensity. You want fast, shallow answers for a casual chat, level 1. You want it to work through a coding problem, live on a call, crank it to 5. And it's not just smarter, it can multitask. The model can hold a conversation, think through a request, call an API, and respond to you cutting it off, all at the same time. That's the real unlock. Voice becomes a primary interface, not a gimmick. 3 models, 3 completely different superpowers. So we've got 3 models. Let's break down what each one does because they solve very different problems. GPT Realtime-2 is the main event. It's built for live interactions where you need real intelligence. Think customer support that actually solves your problem, not just reads a script. Think language tutoring, where the model corrects your grammar in real time and explains why. Think live coding interviews, where the model is your pair programmer, talking you through the logic. Then there's GPT, Realtime-Translate. This one's wild. It takes speech in over 70 input languages and spits out speech in 13 output languages live while the speaker is still talking. No waiting for them to finish. No awkward pause. It keeps pace. That changes everything for live interpretation, multilingual meetings, real-time content translation, and GPT Realtime-Whisper, streaming transcription, speech to text that works as the person speaks, not after they're done. For live captions, meeting notes, accessibility tools. This is the piece that makes voice searchable and indexable instantly. 3 models, 3 jobs, but the key detail is they all work through the same real-time API. Developers can mix and match. Real-time reasoning has a hidden cost and it's not money. Now, here's the part nobody's talking about. Real-time reasoning is hard. The model has to think, but it also has to keep talking. If it goes silent for 5 seconds to process, you think the code dropped. So how does GPT Realtime-2 handle it? Stalling tricks. The model buys thinking time with conversational filler, things like, let me think about that for a moment, or that's a good question, let me work through it. It sounds natural, but it's a clever way to mask latency. And this is where the comparison with something like ElevenLabs gets interesting. ElevenLabs has been the gold standard for voice quality and low latency, but it's not a reasoning model. It's a voice engine. You pair it with a text model. GPT-Realtime-2 is a single model that reasons and speaks. The voice quality might not match ElevenLabs best, but the integration is tighter. No stitching together APIs, no lag between thinking and speaking. So the trade-off is real. You get smarter, more integrated voice AI, but you might sacrifice a bit of raw vocal polish. And depending on your use case, that trade-off is either a deal breaker or completely irrelevant. Quick aside, if you study from your own notes, try Memonique. It turns PDFs, slides, and recordings into summaries, mind maps, flashcards, quizzes, and exam practice. The free plan is enough to test the workflow. Link in description. Then we go back to the video. Here's the decision that actually matters for your stack. So where does this leave you? If you're building voice apps, this is a fork in the road. If you need live reasoning, if your app requires the model to think, call tools, and handle complex requests in real time, GPT-Realtime-2 is currently the only option that does it all in one model. ElevenLabs, DeepGram, and others are fantastic at voice synthesis and transcription, but they don't reason. You have to chain them with a separate LLM that works, but it adds latency and complexity. If you just need high quality text to speech or transcription, the existing players are still extremely strong. ElevenLabs voice quality is top tier. DeepGram's transcription is battle tested. You don't need to rip them out. But if you're building the next generation of voice agents, tutors, or real-time translators, this is the moment to start testing. The models are in the API now. The reasoning intensity is configurable. The tool calling is parallel, and the translation model covers 70 languages live. My take: don't wait for the perfect benchmark. Spin up a test, throw a hard problem at it, and see if it stumbles or shines. That'll tell you more than any leaderboard. If you want the full benchmark breakdown when it drops, hit subscribe. And if you're already building with the real-time API, tell me in the comments. I want to see what you're making. If this helped, like the video, turn on the notification bell, and comment what you want next. New practical AI breakdowns every week.